At first there was distance. Not the kind created by oceans or time, but the kind that exists between two worlds that seem impossible to connect. She appeared untouchable, elegant, calm, confident. The type of person who looked like she already knew exactly where she was going and never looked back. He carried a different energy. Mysterious, sharp, difficult to understand. Someone who seemed impossible to read and impossible to trust. Nothing about their first encounters suggested warmth. Every conversation felt like a challenge. Every look seemed to carry hidden meaning. Every moment felt like a silent battle where nobody wanted to reveal weakness. And yet something strange began to happen. The moments that should have pushed them further apart slowly started pulling them closer. There were small moments. A pause during a conversation. An unexpected smile. The kind of eye contact that lasts 1 second too long. Moments so tiny they almost seemed meaningless. But those moments began changing everything. The tension became curiosity. Curiosity became attention. Attention became connection. And connection slowly became impossible to ignore. The world around them kept moving, but whenever they appeared together time felt different. Their conversations stopped feeling like competition. Their words became softer. Their silence became comfortable. Their expressions started revealing emotions they never intended to show. And that is where the magic truly began. Because the strongest love stories are not built from perfect beginnings. They are built from unexpected moments. The kind where two people slowly realize they understand each other more than they ever imagined. Every scene started carrying more emotion. The atmosphere shifted. Simple conversations suddenly felt unforgettable. Ordinary moments became impossible to forget. Viewers started noticing things. The way they looked at each other. The quiet concern hidden behind every disagreement. The moments where neither of them wanted to admit they cared. Then came the turning point. That unforgettable moment when everything changed. Not because somebody made a dramatic confession. Not because the world suddenly stopped. But because they both realized something terrifying. Walking away was becoming harder than staying. The walls they built started disappearing. The distance became closeness. The cold moments transformed into warmth. And what once looked impossible slowly became beautiful. Every shared scene began carrying a different feeling. There was laughter. There was understanding. There was trust. There was something powerful growing quietly between them. The kind of connection people search for but rarely find. The chemistry felt natural. The emotions felt believable. The journey felt real. Fans everywhere began replaying scenes. Discussing moments. Watching expressions. Trying to understand how something fictional could feel so genuine. That is the power of an unforgettable story. It makes people forget they are watching. It makes emotions feel real. And suddenly audiences around the world found themselves hoping for one more conversation. One more smile. One more unforgettable moment. Because when enemies become something more, the emotions hit differently. You remember every beginning. You notice every change. You feel every moment. And when they finally start understanding each other, it feels earned. Their journey became more than romance. It became a reminder. Sometimes the people who challenge us the most become the people who understand us the deepest. Sometimes first impressions tell only half the story. Sometimes the unexpected becomes unforgettable. And sometimes the greatest journeys begin with two people who never planned to care. That is why stories like this stay with people. Not because they are perfect, but because they remind us that connections are often found where nobody expects them. And maybe that is what makes this journey so unforgettable. Not the grand moments, not the dramatic scenes, but the tiny changes, the quiet moments, the gradual shift from distance to closeness, from resistance to understanding, from enemies to something nobody saw coming. And when the final moments arrive, one feeling remains. You wish the story would continue. You wish there was one more chapter, one more scene, one more unforgettable moment. Because once you witness a journey like this, it becomes impossible to forget. And somewhere deep inside, every viewer begins asking the same question. Could love really begin this way? Maybe the stories we remember forever are the ones that surprise us the most.